Welcome back. Remember back, celebrate today, envision tomorrow. That's the message Chuck Longacre has brought to share with us today for World AIDS Day coming up on December 1st. Chuck, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Well, quickly, we want to put this in perspective for people. There's a new infection in the U.S. every 9.5 minutes. 6 people will have been infected during today's broadcast of Oklahoma Live alone. And over 60% of HIV-positive young adults, that's 13 to 24, do not even know their status today.
That's correct. That's a new statistic, actually, that just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's really scary. Here in Oklahoma, we do HIV testing, and people come in younger and younger, and they're getting infected, and it's crazy. It shouldn't be happening. There's so many ways to prevent it and things like that.
And I don't think that people are aware of these statistics. I mean, I didn't know these statistics until today.
Right.
So tell me how this specifically is affecting Oklahoma.
Okay. Well, last year there were, of the kids ages 20 to 29, 34% tested positive. Ages, I think it's 30 to 39, there was about 28%. So combined, all new infections in Oklahoma, 2/3 of them were in this age range.
And
so
could you clarify the difference between HIV and AIDS for people who may not know?
Right, HIV is basically the infection you get initially, and then it leads into AIDS. There, medical numbers your doctor would have to cover, but it's a doctor diagnosis is done by a doctor for the AIDS diagnosis.
So, of course, the goal is to prevent HIV altogether. How do we do this?
Correct. Well, there's new medical options. The medications, they're not like they used to be. There's a lot of side effects. The ones now are getting better, but they still have certain side effects. One of them, though, is actually to keep a person's viral load down low, and that makes them where they won't infect as many people. If their viral is low, they won't be infecting others. And the other is using condoms. There are male condoms, female condoms, just all sorts of fun ways that you can use them and add spice to your life, so to speak.
Because it's primarily sexually transmitted.
Correct. Yeah, it's sexual fluids and blood, and then also in a mom's breast milk is the other way,
sure.
Which is kind of strange, but. I
But
don't
it's a
understand
reality.
that one. That's correct.
So, and I think that there's a common misconception that it only affects the gay community, but that's not true, right?
Correct. Yeah, the numbers we talked about earlier are all Oklahomans. This is in rural Oklahoma, down south, everywhere. The majority of the infections have actually happened in urban areas like Tulsa and Oklahoma City and all. But it affects anyone, anywhere. So.
And of course you're raising awareness about this on World AIDS Day, which is December 1st.
December 1st
We're
every
having
year.
a memorial service in our area. Tell me about that.
It's going to be December 1st at 7 p.m. It'll be at the Expressions Church down at 4010 North Youngs Boulevard. And it will be a time, as we said earlier, it's a time to remember back, celebrate today, and look to the future of how things can be. Our main goal, nationwide, worldwide, is to be HIV-free by 2021. And by cutting out the new infections, there's less risk of continually passing it on.
And this is something that anyone who is sexually active should get tested for, correct?
Correct. Anybody. I mean, if someone gets pregnant, they've had unprotected sex, and that's something, they have been exposed to HIV. Male, female. Actually, another target area is 50 and over, because partners pass away, mom and dad gets divorced, and they're not used to condoms. So they don't use them, and that's how it's passing on there as well.
And there's an easy way to get tested, right?
Right. You can dial 211 anywhere in the state of Oklahoma, and they will put out different areas, different sources that offer the free HIV testing. Some county health departments charge a $15 fee. Every place is different, and every county is different in Oklahoma.
Okay, great. And don't forget to participate in the World AIDS Day Memorial on December 1st. Chuck, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to switch gears and toss it over to Apple and Owen.